Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Engine House. I am your host, Gandy Dancer. Whenever you're working with one of these and you're doing any grinding, of course, always have a mask. Pretty cool mask, right? We bought these during COVID. They're not good for COVID because of this, but we used to put N95s inside of these and wear them like this. Pretty cool. Little Mad Max action going on there. The wife and I really like them. Uh, anyway, doing some scratch building here, and I'll show you some of the stuff. The German little house here is still sitting over here. This is very, very slow. It's very delicate. I fix a couple of things and then I stop and I let the glue dry thoroughly before I move on, because I don't want to cause any more damage to it. I want to be repairing it. I have fixed the missing gate. I'll show you that. Here is the missing gate. That will be glued on soon. Something I found out, I discovered while doing this, a lot of these rails here, okay, the pickets are on. I couldn't figure out what he'd used. I was digging around and I was trying to find something, and I was thinking basswood, balsa wood, Turns out that's what they are. They're the same size, pretty close, a lot of them. I'm going to stain them, cut the end off, of course, stain them, and I'll be using those as the rails. I had to buy a box of them. Actually, they come in 3-box packs. So I have plenty of matches. Hardly anybody uses wooden matches anymore. You can still find them. Anyway, this is a scratch build I'm starting here. This is going to be Green Pastures Dairy, named after a business my grandfather started back in the late 30s, early 40s, I think. I can't remember when. My grandfather died when I was only a few months old. So I'm not sure when he had his business, and my mother doesn't quite remember when he had it. He worked for Hood and he worked for a couple others. He, as a matter of fact, during a great flood in Amesbury, Mass, he was delivering milk in a horse-drawn wagon. There's actually a picture of him that made the paper there. I think it was in the 1930s during the Depression, where the water is about halfway up the wheels and the poor horse is up to its knees, and he's taking milk, delivering milk. He took his job seriously. This was also during the Depression, so he carried with him a 32 caliber revolver, which I have now in my collection of antique firearms. Don't have any bullets for it. Haven't fired it in years. Finding 32 caliber revolver, I can find 32 automatic. They're slightly different. It could be damaging to the revolver, so I don't use them. But finding 32 caliber revolver ammunition is next to impossible. But it is a nice. It has the original holster and everything, and it's in my collection of antiques. He carried that with him on the wagon during the Great Depression because, of the Depression. People were suffering. People couldn't afford a lot of things, and so, he had to carry it to protect himself and protect his milk. Anyway, so this is Green Pastures Dairy Milk Processing Plant that I am building, and it's a kit bash and a scratch build, I guess you could call it that. I got this in a group of kits I bought. There were 6 kits in the group, and I wanted a couple of them for the layout. This was one I thought I could do something with. I could kit bash, or I could use it. So I decided I'm using part of it. It's a 2-story. Some of it's still in the box. I'll use it elsewhere. I'm using these 2 pieces here, and these are sides. They match these. You can see I've taken off this here on this. I snapped it off with some pliers. I cut this off and this little ridge right here on both sides. This is part of the first or second floor. I mean, they were they were similar, very close to each other. And I'm going to use these as windows. I may use these others as well. I haven't quite decided yet where all the windows are going to go. I know there's going to be a loading dock. This I'm going to be using somewhere. I'm thinking this is going to be, I'm going to cut this out here in the center. And this is going to be on the loading dock area for the milk to come in and out. I think I'm going to put a door, a couple of freight doors in here instead, and use these on either side of it. And this will be inset in the building. This is serious 1960s or 70s layout here, if you can see. This is going to be, of course, on the front, and it's going to be to access the building for the offices and whatnot. I will be cutting these off and trimming these down, and it'll be going in there. I've got to lay some stuff out right now. I'm just in the process of starting. 1 minute, I grab something up here, and these corrugated. I set one of these over here. We get our dog food through Chewy, and for some reason, they like to pack it with these. Doesn't do a lot of good, really, but they stick them in the boxes. And I had been throwing them out. Many, many years ago, when I hauled freight, we were hauling concrete panels up into Saskatchewan or Alberta, I don't remember which, to a potato processing plant up there they were building. And they had poured the cement into forms in Spokane, Washington. And then and these were, 40 feet long, and they were 10 or 11 feet wide. And they would break them out of the forms, and they would stack two on a flatbed, and we would tie them down very lightly. It's very delicate stuff. You can snap concrete in a form real easy if you get too tight. We would tie them down enough to secure them, and then we'd haul them up into Canada. And the concrete form, when they came out, they looked an awful lot like this. And this will have some balsa wood. There'll be some, balsa wood framing as well in the corners. And these will be painted up to look like cement. I'm hoping that's my goal. And the windows will, of course, be in there. And these will be painted up to look like cement as well. So that's kind of the goal on that. What's going to be the siding. What I am using. Hi, Shop Kitty. How are you today? You decided to show up and say hello? Hi. She likes coming up here. I am, by the way, in the middle of still laying track. Our basement being stone, and it has a few issues I pointed out in one of my last videos. Excuse me. The cold just barrels in there. There's no way to stop it right now. In the spring, I have to fix that corner, seal some of this up. Hopefully that stops. No matter what we've been doing down there, unless we run the furnace, the basement is frozen. The portable heat pump we got will only bring it up to about 53, 54 degrees. It's still really cold down there. I've been laying track. I've got about 2/3 of the track laid for the freight line, and I still have some wiring and stuff to do. So I've been taking a break because, again, this is February. It is below zero. This morning it was 18 below. It is bitter, bitter cold, and that basement, even with the furnace running, is rather cold. And my hands, with the nerve and muscle disease, they don't last in the cold long. So I've been taking kind of a break on that. Frustrating. I still have the passenger line to run. I know kind of where that's going. I've got, like I said, 2/3 of the track laid for the freight line and the wiring done, 2/3 of the wiring done. It's just I had to stop. I needed to do something else because I can only work so long before my hands just stop functioning properly. So anyway, I decided I'd be doing some of this. Shop Kitty's been down there with me and making sure I'm doing it right. She likes doing that. Anyway, what will be, if you look way back in one of my earlier videos, I used a milk bone box to make Hansel and Gretel's confectionaries. That is exactly what I'm doing here. This is modeled after one of the buildings that I saw in Menards. These tabs are for holding floors and ceilings up to help. And this one here, of course, is to hold this one. This, hi, Shop Kitty. This one will be going here. This is for one of the windows. And then I'll be putting ceilings and floor, in here, and putting a ceiling in here. And I have to carve out where the freight side is going to be. I still have to take some measurements. I believe the freight is going to be on this side. The entrance is going to be here or on one of these ends. I haven't quite decided where to put it yet. I'm kind of doing this on the fly. I plan stuff out in my head and then I start doing it. And if I said, oh, this needs to change, I can change it as I'm going. So that's kind of where I'm at on this. Again, this will probably go, there'll be a unloading dock here. So this will probably be up, come here now, up here with a loading dock like it's on Hansel and Gretel's below it. And there may be another window. Whoops. I may take another one of these and put it up here. Could go here. I could put another window anywhere. I have these, and then I have extra parts left over that I can use in another scratch build. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Everybody knows who does modeling that waiting for glue and paint to dry, it takes a long time. This, I can wait until it's tacky, and then I can start gluing more. But I found out yesterday that if I'm gluing in one and I haven't waited for the other stuff to get tacky enough, they fall off. So I kind of left it overnight. I still have to do one here and one here to hold the floor, and then we can start on carting out the other stuff. But in the meantime, I'm grinding this stuff down and cutting it off. And that's where we're kind of at right now. And again, I'm still working on this over here. I call it a Bavarian chalet, but it's German. It's probably Austria. And it's very nice. Again, this is very, very old. It's almost as old as my mother, and it's in a lot of need of a lot of TLC, but I go really slow on it. So there's not really much going on here. Again, I have to wait. If I can squeeze myself down there later today, I'll do a little more wiring. If not, I'll be messing with this, and there'll be another video as I move along on this. But I'm going to be using balsa wood for some of it, and of course the stuff I'm showing you here to make it look like concrete, fabricated stuff like we hauled, and it'll be all put together, and there'll be a sign on it. Hello, Amarok. Amarok decided to come up. He heard me talking. Hi, buddy. Nothing here has to go to the lab. No. Here, just a second, I'll show you. There he is. He's 5 years old this year. We've had him that long, him and his sister. Anyway, I'm going to get back to work on this. This is kind of a short video, just kind of an update on what's going on. I have 2 projects going, and I seem to be swamped up here, a little at a time. But again, this is modeling on a budget. If you look at one of my older videos that I did, the Hansel and Gretel's confectionaries, that was all done with cardboard and some balsa wood to make the windows. And I cut individual clapboards for that, and made that entire building. It still needs some more detail work. I need ducting on the side, finding 3D printed ducting for O scale. I've had a real problem with that. I am thinking about investing in a 3D printer, the resin kind, for the detail work, like rooftop air conditioners, vents, duct work, gas meters and electric meters. These are all things that are needed on a building and your detail work. I can buy some of that stuff. It's online all over the place. The thing is you pay $4 for a couple of items, and then you're paying almost double that for shipping. Shipping costs are crazy, so it's almost behooves me to get a 3D printer and print my own, and then I can have them right here as I'm going, and I can make adjustments. But modeling, as far as, again, on a budget, this is a Milk-Bone dog biscuit box, and when I'm done with it, I hope it looks like a factory. There's one I'm kind of modeling it after. I won't put the picture up because it's a Menards building, and I really don't want Menards getting mad at me. But I'm kind of modeling this after that. If you look it up, you'll look up Menards O-scale train stuff, you'll find it. Once I get a little further into this, you may go, I recognize that building. So we'll see. But anyway, I'm going to get back to work on this. I'm going to figure out where windows are going, and I'm going to glue some more stuff on here. And then I'm going to start putting some of this stuff in place and seeing where we're at, seeing where I want new windows and doors and things of that nature. So stick around. And again, if you're working with paint, for starters, if you're going to paint, I'm going to be painting in the basement because it is warmer there than outside. When I shoot this with paint, I have a mask for painting. You want to wear those for dust and whatnot. You want to make sure you wear a mask, something like this, or even one of these. Okay, you're going to protect your lungs. I've got COPD thanks to COVID. My lungs aren't the greatest, so we will wear one of these or wear this. Again, it's all about safety. It's all about being safe. Even if you're modeling on a budget, you want to make sure you're not killing yourself in the process. We wouldn't want that. Anyway, stay tuned. There'll be another video coming as I get further along in this, and I'll probably even show you some more of this house here when I get into it a little further. You'll see some of my progress on that, and stick around. And I'll probably, in the next video, hopefully we get some warm up and I can do something in the basement, and I can shoot a video down there showing you what I've done. All of the table work is done and finished. It's just a matter of getting the track finished and finish the wiring, and then I can start working on the scenery again, which is my favorite part. I like running trains, but I actually enjoy doing the scenery and the building part even more. That to me is a lot of fun. The trains are kind of they're cool. Run around, have some fun with some freight trains, and everybody's fascinated by steam and the trains. I love that. But to me, it's more fun working on the scenery and planning and laying out roads and where things are going to go. Everybody has their way of they want to do things and how they want to do it, and that's just fine. That's all part of it. The key is to enjoy the hobby. I always push that. Enjoy the hobby. That's the whole point. Don't get so wrapped up. You wind yourself up to the point of frustration. Then it's no fun. This is supposed to be fun. Try something out like this. You can't go wrong, right? If you're happy with it, I'm happy with it. That's the main thing. Do your best job on something like this. Have fun. Experiment. little cross with, some kit bashing, I guess. Somebody said, oh, you're kit bashing. Sort of. I'm also scratch building. So it's a little bit of both here. I'm having fun with it. That's the whole point. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll catch you next time. Hopefully it's warm enough I can shoot in the basement, show you what's going on down there. If not, it'll be back up here in the workshop. Bye for now.